Welcome back, Wolfpack Verlis here, and this is how to use Walrein. So Walrein has the most refreshing stats I've seen that, for a defensive tanky Pokemon, 110 on the hit points, going to be very nice. Defense and special defense are going to be very good as well with 90 on both, and then we have some special attack and attack potential. Not too much on the speed, but if we're playing this Pokemon like a tank, we're going to be off just fine. Now it does have a water-ice typing, which means 4 weaknesses, 2 resistances. Not the most ideal. Grass, electric, fighting, and rock on those weaknesses. But with the resists, we have 1/4 resistance to ice, which is really cool, because with the thick fat ability that Walrein gets, you are potentially having 1/8 damage dealt from ice types to you. So that's just a little interesting thing. Also, it mitigates the fire neutrality and turns it back into a resistance. Now hopping into Pokemon Showdown, we just have Stockpile Bellydrum. That Stockpile Bellydrum with your high hit points spread out just right is going to be really good. That Impish Nature, 148 on defense, 160 on special defense, 200 on hit points is pretty much going to give you the highest potential. That you're going to have really good defenses, really good special defense, and then once you're set up your hit points, you're not going to be taking any damage. Chester Resto as a main idea with Bellydrum Stockpile, so it's essentially like having a water ice type Snorlax. Now this is where it gets interesting. Avalanche. Bellydrum into Avalanche, you're going to have a great amount of damage, taking almost nothing, and then dishing a very hard hit back, and that's pretty much going to be one of your better options. But you do have a couple other things, like Aqua Tail. You can get water absorbed, so it isn't really the most efficient, and then we also have Body Slam and a lot of other moves, but for just looking at it, while Avalanche can get walled out by getting resisted, it's going to be your most reliable move because it's not going to have any immunities or anything fancy like that. But then we just have like a total troll set that we want to do Stockpile and Rest, but this time with Sheer Cold and Fissure. It's going to be the same EVs, same nature, same placement, everything, and it just kind of shows that what do you want to run. Thick Fat is going to kind of help you from fire and ice type attacks, but Oblivious is a really nice ability because you can't be taunted or infatuated. So if someone tries to taunt your setup, you just say no to all of that. That a lot of my sets are weak against taunt when they're set up because that's just how setup is. But then with this, now you can't be taunted. They might waste a turn trying to taunt you. Stockpile, Rest, and then you just don't take damage while you try to burn through Sheer Cold and Fissure. Now you do only have 16 chances. That while if the odds are somewhat in your favor, that's a 1 in 3 chance of landing 16, so you can technically knock out 5 Pokemon with this as long as you're staying really durable. It could go either way, but with this idea, you're going to try to hope to get at least 2 cheesy one-hit KOs by just becoming too tanky and then really blowing up your opponent from there, and it can work out in a hilarious way. Chesto Resto is again what we're looking at, and that's kind of what there is about it. Also, you can do the same thing with Rest, Sleep Talk, and Focus Band. Since you're using Rest and Sleep Talk, you don't really need to have any kind of you don't need any Chesto Barrier or anything like that. Since we're not going for Sustain, we're just going to try to Fissure and Sheer Cold until we die. Focus Band gives us a 10% chance to survive, and that's really all we need. That right now, you're looking at it being a 2-hit, 3-hit KO Pokemon, and depending on how you're getting blown up or not, Fissure, you just lead with Fissure, lead with Sheer Cold, try to score the KO. Once you think you're in a threatened area, you use Rest, Sleep Talk. Sleep Talk has a chance of being Fissure or Sheer Cold, and eventually, Focus Band might work. Sometimes Focus Band can proc back to back. Sometimes it cannot work at all. It's just trying to make it to where you get as many Fissures or Sheer Colds as possible, and I'd see this being a very hilarious and trolly set, but it can work out really well just because no setup, just run in and you try to Fissure and Sheer Cold your opponent down. After that, we also have Curse Aqua Ring. That with this, you can invest in your special defense, try to get your defense up really high, and then, set up Aqua Ring, have Protect, and get a lot of health back. But between Leftovers and Aqua Ring, you're getting an 1/8 at the end of the turn. Protect means that you're getting a 1/4 of your health back before you take damage, and then we just kind of look at your damage options from there. Since you're going to be slow, Avalanche works, and that's all there is to it. That you're trying to boost a little slower, because you're not like Stockpile, Bellydrum, run away with it, but it does play a little safer. Bellydrum does cut your attack in half, so there is a potential to get counterplayed. But with this, you're getting a good amount of hit points back, you have the chance to Protect Stall, and then you just Curse, become a huge defensive threat that has no limits, and Avalanche for big damage. So that's how you use Walrein. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you all have a nice day. I really love this Pokemon. I think it has a lot of strength and potential, so I hope you guys go out and use it. It's pretty cool.